This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Had a recent opportunity to make a change. This has been somewhat in the works from a number of perspectives for a while, where the Kansas Grain Sorghum Producers Association Board and the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission Board started to cooperate more frequently and more often and in a structured kind of a way, and became apparent that there needed to be a hire for a full-time executive director position, somewhat modeled off of what wheat and other states have done in sorghum. You know, many commodity groups have done a similar format, and it seems to work generally well. And so I was at a spot where I could jump on the opportunity and was fortunate to be chosen, and I'll start at the first of the year. So I have had the great luxury of working for a national organization here for a little over 3 years with national sorghum producers and the sorghum checkoff. That has given me exposure to tools and resources, contacts, being able to work internationally as well as in Washington, D.C., to have the ability to step in very quickly on issues. So that's a big part of it, is understanding how to tee up and leverage and research and work with others to get our issues advanced. We have a number of folks who do that very well already, so I was able to learn from that at the national level and kind of regroup a bit to my state experience. I've spent a little time in Topeka, and with our board chairman and our certain farmers that are in office in Topeka, including some leadership elections that recently happened, we're well positioned to be effectively represented, particularly given the water discussions and other things in the state. So sorghum has no shortage of challenges from the sugarcane aphid and from markets. And what this is really trying to put in play is a number of pieces. First of all, you saw the move at K-State where Sarah Sexton-Bowser was hired to lead the collaborative sorghum improvement program. This piece of it is the exec level at the state, working cooperatively with our national organizations, trying to build out our membership base. So a lot of this has to do with pushing the envelope on research and trying to find better technology more frequently into the crop, and markets, and trying to develop better markets. And communication is a big part of this as well, working together collaboratively for sorghum, and in a political environment that we can't ignore as well, both at the state and the national level, to make sure we're comprehensively putting our best foot forward as a crop. We are still living through one of the most amazing periods of time politically that any of us have ever seen in our lifetime. And I think seeing where individuals are ultimately placed in service at the national and the state level in terms of appointments, leadership elections, the inauguration of a new president-elect, I think there's a lot of uncertainty about trade. I think there's a lot of opportunity around regulation and trying to roll back some of the barriers that have existed in our crop and in agriculture generally, and to just meet the players and make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. Whoever ultimately is picked at whatever level, agriculture is going to be effectively represented, and sorghum will certainly be part of that mix.
Watch AGam in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
There's a lot of different ways of doing this woodwork, but all of it still takes both hands.
He had been told that by the orthopedic specialist in Enid, Oklahoma, that they would have to fuse his thumb.
And I said, no, cut it off, because I didn't want it sticking up. And I found out about the Kansas Regenerative Stem Cell and went to Manhattan.
We were so impressed with how royally we were treated the first time we came to Kansas Regenerative.
We came in and he took out the stem cells. It took about an hour for him to process them before they put him back in my knees and my thumb. And we were out of here in about 4 hours and on our way back home. And I'm in here today to have my shoulders, my hips, and my back done. So I'll be able to go back to my sawmill, my shop, and do about anything I want to do.